global banking families are creating global chaos. What's the goal? Well, it's the Hellenic dialectic in motion. The goal is to get a new global currency, because on the back of that will be the new world order, the new global high-tech police state. And oh, by the way, they need to eliminate a whole bunch of us unnecessary eaters. There'll be a little thing somewhere along the line called World War III that they plan on eliminating most of us. But this is all tied in together, and it kind of goes back to the article that I wrote about. There is evidence there, unfortunately, that shows that a HARP type scalar device was used, that it may have triggered the earthquake that caused so much of the damage, and the tsunami, which was even far worse. We certainly know that the global banking families have been hard at work to create the economic chaos that has caused the global depression, that has all the currency ready to melt down, et cetera, et cetera. This is all, and of course the revolutions in North Africa, the British petroleum oil disaster, which we know they knew what they were doing. They were deliberately creating a mega disaster there, which has affected the world's climate, has taken a lot of the food crop out of our total food picture. All this stuff is coming together, and it really, when you lift the rocks, when you look at the ugly, crawly things under the rocks, you say, oh my goodness, they actually are purposely doing this. Well, yes, they are, because they want the chaos, and out of the chaos, they're going to ram through a new global currency. And on the back of that will come a new world order, the mark of the beast, World War III, et cetera, et cetera. This is all part of it.
Situation in which the existence of humanity is being challenged. I don't say it's being menaced, it's being challenged. It's being challenged by a condition which is a product of a development which is lawful in our galaxy. The process in this galaxy is affecting the behavior of the solar system, the sun most specifically. As a result of that, we have a threat of a chain of events, of crucial events, volcanoes, so forth, which threaten humanity. And it comes to the time that a lawful cycle, which a little bit older than mankind's appearance on this planet, about 62 million years, a lawful cycle coinciding with a cycle of the solar system, has triggered a series of phenomena which began to become apparent this year, especially with the thing at Christchurch in New Zealand and then going up to Japan, and now threatening the entire planet. And we're in a period in which the President of the United States and the governments of Europe combined have adopted policies which actually are flagrant violations of any common concern for the future of mankind. In particular, in terms of this series of volcanoes and earthquakes and so forth, which are occurring now, but because of the incompetence, the absolute, virtually criminal incompetence of this President of the United States, who has been destroying the very means by which we might be defended, civilization might be defended. We're now in danger of losing civilization. But we do know how to detect the onset of such things and to move people from the localities in which the greatest danger lies to temporary places of safety for them. So therefore, we are now actually in a year in what's happened in Christchurch in particular, and in Japan, is a warning to the rest of the planet, and specifically the area of the Indian Ocean and Pacific, the rim of that. But in terms of populated areas, we're looking now at the greatest danger lies in the rim of the continental rim of the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, as such. Therefore, we know, if we have the plans and policy, that we could prepare to move people through the re-establishment of the function of the Corps of Engineers, to what we did not do in case of the Louisiana, New Orleans flood. We did nothing. It was criminal. The behavior of the President of the United States at that point was absolutely criminal. Criminal in preventing things from being done which could have prevented the worst catastrophe, and then doing nothing afterward. Now we have a president who is now tearing down every element of the warning systems which we already have, and is actually blocking the warning systems additionally we could have, including the shutting down of NASA, effectively. NASA is one of our main lines of defense for human life on this planet, because NASA's role in space work, in work in space, is one of the most leading elements of our ability to detect the onslaught of a threat to any particular area on the planet, as well as some general knowledge about the whole problem in general. So we've reached the point that if the people of the United States do not act on the basis of what is in hand for them under our Constitution, the 25th Amendment, Section 4, the President of the United States is, by that definition given there under Section 4, is clinically insane, at least for his function as President. And as long as he remains President, with his present policy, there will be no organization of protection for the citizens of the United States in particular against the threats which are going to start hitting them in places like California, Oregon, Washington, and so forth. We must now accept the fact that we must expect this level 9 or level 10 or 11 types of earthquakes and similar kinds of phenomena on this planet, because we're going now into a period in what we call the life cycle of the solar system within the galactic system, which forecasts for us as the best forecast that we must expect a period of this kind of violence coming from the system. Therefore, we must be prepared. So we must expect these up to level 9, 10, or higher in this coming 3 years. We also have a long-term problem, which comes a little bit later. But we're in that kind of period. Now, therefore, what can we do? Well, if the U.S. government does what it should do, and has a president who is a U.S. president, not some kind of a nut like the kind we have right now, and I'm using that term quite accurately. This guy is a nut. That's the vernacular for what he is, the simple thing that anybody on the street can understand. He's a nut. You can't do anything with him. He's insane. And if you read the provision of Section 4 of the 25th Amendment and read the findings which went into the adoption of that provision, and you look at the profile of this president, you say, this guy should not be in the presidency. And he can be removed by a well-known procedure under Section 4 of the 25th Amendment. Get him out of there, and you have a chance to save the United States. If you don't get him out of there, if you make cheap excuses for not getting him out of there, then you're to blame. You're to blame to the horrors that will hit the people of the United States. And we can save humanity. And not only can we save humanity, we can give humanity back confidence in itself. And that's the mission. Obama must go. Anybody who doesn't think he should go should not be in government, because the man has demonstrated factually all those faults which are specified within the domain of the 25th Amendment, Section 4, for his ouster. That ouster should occur. Europe's not going to do it. We have to do it. We could probably get cooperation from Russia, a lot of scientific cooperation in particular. We can get cooperation from China, from India, and from other countries. We can make a dent in this thing, and once we start that, we can save this nation and save civilization from the worst threat known to mankind in the entire known history of mankind.
We are in the process of giving Egypt and Libya to the Muslim Brotherhood, because this is going to spread all over the Middle East. About when I heard the Saudi Arabia oil minister say 300, I was startled. They may take it to that, because they've got to do it in order to take the price of gold to $3,000 an ounce. I hope you're hearing this. Gold and silver is such a vital part of this whole thing, because in order to have a new world order currency in the future, they must back it with gold and silver. In order to do that, they have got to take gold and silver to gold to $300 an ounce, silver to $50 to $100 an ounce to peak. I said, well, you haven't seen anything yet. I said, you're going to see gold go to $3,000 an ounce. You're going to see silver continue to climb. What's going to happen in the Middle East? Egypt and Libya both are being given. Did you hear this? I just got this. Egypt and Libya both are being given to the Muslim Brotherhood. Now, right now, Egypt does not have a government. It's in shambles. Well, it's now on record, I hope as of your show today, if any of the Middle East kings and royal families are listening, you're on your way out. First of all, it was Mubarak in Egypt. And then it's Gaddafi in Libya. He's just a little more stubborn. It's going to take longer to get him out of there. Then it's going to be one country after the other. Syria, Bahrain, Yemen. They are going to be overthrown. Mark my words. The royal families in the Middle East, the oil barons, one after the other, are going to be overthrown until they have done exactly what they want to do. They did it in Egypt, and now we have given Egypt to the Muslim Brotherhood. Do you realize that the Muslim Brotherhood is jihad?